Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben, we should probably do a review.
Well, yeah, we're filming ourselves standing at the bar.
Well, all right.
It'd be weird if we didn't.
But, so we're doing what we call pick a bourbon time.
Okay.
How about Four Roses Small Batch Select?
We've done that already.
1792
Done it.
Full Proof. Eagle Rare.
Done it.
10 Cup.
Done it.
Larceny.
Done it.
Oregon Spirit.
Done it.
David Nichols.
I've already done it.
Benchmark.
Yep.
Yeah, I know we did that one. I loved it. You didn't. Evan Williams.
Done it.
All right, what do you got?
I have.
Wait a minute. You're telling me we don't have anything else and we have to do this bottle? Is that what you're telling me?
We don't have to do this bottle in the sense that it's a chore to do this bottle.
It's a chore.
We get to do this bottle.
It's a chore.
We are lucky enough to be able to partake of the absolute nectar of the gods that is, bam, Mellow corn whiskey.
Well, hold on a minute. I said we're drinking bourbon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, I'll just edit that out somehow. So this is
we're
Kentucky,
drinking beep.
Yeah, exactly. This is Kentucky straight corn whiskey, bottled in bond, Heaven Hill product.
So our theory, enough of the games. I've had it, I like it, you've had it, you kind of like it.
I really like Mellow corn.
So the guess is Heaven Hill makes, essentially it's a bourbon, but they're reusing casks is kind of my guess. And so it's legally not allowed to be called a bourbon, but essentially it drinks like bourbon. I think it tastes like bourbon.
So here's what they say. For corn whiskey, so corn whiskey has a different legal parameter as far as aging goes. And it has to be 80%.
True.
Corn,
and
at
plenty
least.
of bourbons have.
And yeah, there's some bourbons that are 100% corn.
Yeah.
So where the aging comes in is you can age corn whiskey in either a new uncharred cask,
Yes.
or a used charred cask.
Previously bourbon barrels is my guess.
Yeah, so Heaven Hill uses previously used Heaven Hill bourbon casks.
Right.
So this is corn whiskey that's aged in Heaven Hill bourbon casks.
So it's Elijah Craig, essentially, is what he's saying, but it's not.
So they say, Heaven Hill actually said this in their description of this, that having those two different styles, having not a new charred oak, really allows the corn sweetness to kind of manifest itself in the forefront.
So
And it's not being overwhelmed by the barrel char.
by the wood and
yeah.
the wood spices. But what's interesting is this is really a spicy whiskey.
It does have a little spice to it. So you've had this a couple of times.
It's been a while though.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's been a while.
And I am a big fan of Mellow corn. I'm not actually making that up.
Yeah, he's actually on the fan club.
So on the nose, there's corn.
I was gonna say that, but I thought it'd be too corny.
Corn. There's corn, vanilla.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I get a bit of vanilla.
get some alcohol spice. I mean, it's 100 proof.
Yeah, bottled in bond.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in for the, we've had
All
some
right.
snivs here.
Yeah.
Let's go in for the taste.
Really good density.
Oh yeah, that dry, dusty corn with some vanilla on top and a little bit of cinnamon
And
on
a
the
little
back
bit,
end of it.
It's almost like sprinkled with cane sugar. There's just a hint of sweetness that kind of hits your tongue occasionally.
So I had said about this bottle when we did our video of the you only need 5 whiskeys that ADHD Whiskey had put out, so we did our own. You added a category. It's like, what's the whiskey everyone's wrong about, in your opinion? That,
Yeah, sure.
And so I did Mellow Corn because I've seen some people trash this. But if I'm being honest, I would say if I were to go back and redo what I said about it then, I would say probably 9 out of 10 times I see this talked about, it's talked about favorably. People like this whiskey.
It's one of those bourbons, and I think we've actually discovered this several times on this channel over the past year. Can you believe we've been doing this for a year? That's crazy. Anyway, there's
longest year of my life.
Longest year of my life. But there's a lot of whiskeys that we're either reluctant to review because we think it's gonna be bad, or so many people have said bad things about it that we're like, stay away kind of thing.
And it's not that we're not going to review or we don't want to, it's just we're not really excited about going out and buying a bottle of it when there's so many other things that we are excited to review.
But then it turns out, even the ones that people are like down on, ultimately they tend to like. There's very few bourbons that everybody hates that are legitimately bad.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, there's some that people kind of like want to make fun of, but it's like making fun of Nickelback. Ultimately, you're gonna sing along every time they sing.
Sure, why not? Well, and I love Mellow Corn. So this bottle is about $15 average for a liter.
For a liter.
Yeah, for a bottled in bond liter. And it's just got, the label on it. Everything about this, you see this on the shelf, everything about this just screams bad whiskey. If you just were to look at it on the shelf and you didn't know anything about it.
I wonder why that is. Because I kind of agree with you.
And I love that their logo is still the same. Like their label, it's like, it looks like it's from the 60s or 70s or something like that. But yeah, so this has a ton of, it really does have a strong corn presence.
But it's not, I don't know if I get that, or at least maybe I don't know how to associate that. I wonder, do they actually publish the mash bill?
I can't remember if they said it's 100% or not.
Like, I feel like if they would just bring the corn down just a little bit, add a little bit of rye, a little bit of wheat, and do a new charred oak barrel, they'd be onto something.
So a 4-grain bourbon is what you're looking for? Yeah, I love this. I seriously do. And I want to experiment with making cocktails out of this because this actually kind of grew like a cult following a little bit. Like bartenders were making cocktails with it. But yeah, I don't know,
So the one thing, for people who have not had it, this is hard for me to describe. It's sweet, but it's not birthday cake sweet. It's not
caramel sweet.
It's not caramel sweet. It's not cotton candy sweet. It's actually not super, super sweet.
But at the same time, it is sweet. It's a different kind. It's the corn sweetness.
It's corn sweetness, and I associate, typically when I drink a bourbon, a super sweet bourbon, I assume that is from the corn syrup. But this is
not actual corn syrup, but
corn syrup. Yeah,
makes corn syrup, and there's a reason for that.
Yes,
because there's
it's sweet. But it's got a sweetness, but it goes away, and then it turns into a nice whiskey. And so it would be totally interesting to use for a mixer for cocktails.
Yeah.
It's cheap, totally available, and it's not over the top sweet.
Yeah, it's just got a nice balance, and I love that dusty, dry corn note that it has.
Sure.
It's almost like, it's the grain note that you're picking up on this is the corn, so it's like you can literally taste it. It's like dry corn, and it doesn't seem like maybe that would be a great flavor note that you would want in something, but
right. I think
but it works.
Viewers at home are nodding.
Yeah, well, just try it for yourself. If you haven't had this, honestly, I would absolutely 100% recommend getting a bottle of this. So for sure. For $15, even if you don't like it.
Do you go to a bar and order a pour of this and then tolerate everybody around you laughing at you? Or do you just buy it for $15?
I would go to the bar and I would tell them to just leave the bottle, set it right there in front of me. And everybody's laughing I'll keep it clean. So, but yeah, for the $15, go get yourself a bottle of this for sure.
It's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, well, this has been Mellow Corn on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Mellow Corn. No. I'm Greg. Cheers.